Nobody expected this debut to completely shift the conversation inside the WNBA so quickly. What was supposed to be just another regular matchup turned into a defining moment for an entire season. From the opening minutes, it became obvious that something different was happening on the court. Caitlin Clark was already controlling tempo, spacing, and rhythm like a veteran floor general, making every possession look intentional and calculated. But the real shock came from someone who had just stepped into the spotlight. Raven Johnson didn't play like a rookie. Adjusting to the league, she played like someone ready to change it. And by the time the final buzzer hit, and a duo that might have just changed everything, the atmosphere inside the arena felt different even before the game officially began. It wasn't just excitement, it was anticipation mixed with curiosity. Fans inside the WNBA knew they were about to witness something important. Even if they couldn't fully explain what that something was yet, the lights were brighter, the crowd louder, and every camera seemed to focus on specific names rather than the game as a whole. This wasn't just another regular season matchup anymore. One presence immediately stood out. Caitlin Clark walked in with complete composure, no rushed energy, just a calm confidence that came from understanding control. She wasn't trying to force attention, she naturally commanded it. Her warm-up shots were smooth and consistent. Her passing drills looked effortless but precise. Even her communication with teammates was minimal yet purposeful. Everything about her suggested one thing: control of rhythm. From the opening tip, that control became visible instantly. The offense didn't just move, it flowed through her. Decisions. Every possession started with her reading the defense. Every pass was timed to create maximum spacing. Every shot attempt came after calculated movement, not random opportunity. Defenders quickly realized the problem: you can't defend anticipation. You can only react to it. And reacting against someone like Clark meant you were always a step behind. Opposing teams attempted adjustments early: switches, double coverage, aggressive perimeter pressure. But every adjustment created a new opening somewhere else. That's what made her dangerous. She didn't need perfect conditions. She created them. But while Clark controlled the structure of the game, something equally important was happening on the other side. Raven Johnson wasn't entering the game like a player trying to fit in. She entered like someone ready to disrupt expectations. From her first defensive possession, her energy was immediate. She wasn't passive, she wasn't cautious. She was active, loud in movement, and constantly engaged in the flow of play. Her defense wasn't just effort, it was pressure applied at the right moments. She closed passing lanes quickly. She rotated without hesitation. She forced offensive players to change direction. Mid-play. And most importantly, she didn't slow down. That combination created a unique dynamic. Clark controlled structure. Johnson controlled disruption. And when those two forces aligned, something unexpected began to form. It wasn't planned chemistry, it was natural reaction. By the end of the first quarter, analysts started noticing something unusual. This wasn't just a debut appearance. It wasn't just a strong offensive performance. It was the formation of a two-way system that opponents weren't prepared to handle. And that realization changed the entire tone of the game moving forward. As the game moved deeper into the second half, the intensity increased, but what stood out more was consistency. Caitlin Clark continued to dictate tempo with precision. She wasn't rushing decisions. She wasn't forcing plays. Instead, she created situations where the defense had to make impossible choices. If they stepped up, she passed. If they dropped back, she shot. If they doubled, she created space for teammates. There was no comfortable option for defenders. Meanwhile, Raven Johnson was becoming more influential as the game progressed. Her impact wasn't measured in points alone. It was measured in disruption. Every defensive rotation she made forced hesitation from the offense. Every transition she ran created pressure before the defense could settle. Every movement she made, without the ball, added unpredictability to the system. Against a structured team like the Liberty, this unpredictability became a serious issue. Defensive schemes rely on timing, communication, and structure. But Clark and Johnson were constantly breaking timing. Clark controlled where attention went. Johnson attacked where attention left. That constant split in focus created breakdowns that were hard to recover from. Even when the Liberty executed correctly, the next possession forced them into adjustment. Again, it wasn't a single mistake. It was continuous pressure. By mid-game, commentators shifted their language. Instead of describing individual plays, they began analyzing system behavior. Phrases like flow disruption, spacing manipulation, and tempo control became more frequent. Because what they were witnessing wasn't just skill, execution. It was structural imbalance being created in real time. Clark's ability to slow or speed up the game meant defenses never found rhythm. Johnson's ability to attack open space meant recovery defense was always late. Together, they created a cycle that repeated every possession. And cycles like that are extremely difficult to break. By the time the final quarter approached, the opposing team was no longer adjusting strategically. They were reacting emotionally. And that's when the game reached its breaking point. When the game ended, the scoreboard mattered less than the reaction it triggered. The arena shifted from competition mode into analysis mode almost instantly. Players exchanged brief acknowledgments. Coaches spoke quietly. But cameras and fans had already moved on to something bigger than the result itself. The emergence of a new dynamic inside the WNBA had become the main story. Clips of Caitlin Clark and Raven Johnson spread rapidly across platforms. Fans weren't just sharing highlights, they were analyzing interactions, spacing, and timing between them. The conversation shifted quickly. Some labeled it a new offensive weapon system. Others called it instant chemistry. Analysts debated whether it was sustainable or situational, but everyone agreed on one thing: it worked. Post-game reactions remained calm. Neither player exaggerated emotion. There were no overreactions, no unnecessary statements, just quiet. Acknowledgement of a game that spoke for itself. But silence often amplifies narratives more than words. Clark's presence continued to be discussed as a control-driven performance tempo management, decision-making, and efficiency. Johnson's debut continued to be discussed as an impact-driven entry energy, defensive disruption, and adaptability. Together, they created something that extended beyond individual performance. They created a storyline. And once a storyline begins spreading across fans, media, and analysts, it no longer belongs to the game. It belongs to perception. Debates grew across social platforms. Predictions started forming. Comparisons began appearing. And the discussion shifted from what happened to what could happen next. Because in modern sports, storytelling moments don't end at the buzzer. They evolve. And this one was just beginning. Now the question is yours to answer. Was this just an impressive debut moment? Or did we just witness the beginning of a new era inside the WNBA? Do you think the pairing of Caitlin Clark and Raven Johnson can actually reshape how teams are built and how games are controlled? Or is it still too early to call it a true breakthrough system? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Join the debate with other fans and share your opinion. If you enjoy viral sports storytelling, deep breakdowns, and real basketball narratives that go beyond highlights, make sure to like this video, subscribe to @Touchpoint Tales, and turn on notifications because the next game might change everything again. Hashtag Caitlin Clark, hashtag Raven Johnson, number WNBA, hashtag WNBA highlights, hashtag basketball story, hashtag viral sports, number sports breakdown, hashtag Touchpoint Tales, hashtag women basketball, Hashtag trending now. Hashtag sports narrative. Hashtag basketball news. Hashtag viral moment. Hashtag WNBA 22-6.